When Gunther lost the World Heavyweight Championship to Jey Uso at WrestleMania 41, there were a lot of rumors surrounding Gunther as to what was next for him now that he didn't have the title. One that I'm sure you probably are very familiar with, and possibly Goldberg coming back and having a feud with Gunther. And while that may not be the most popular rumor, I'm sure that there are others floating around social media. But I don't think we quite expected Gunther to go after Pat McAfee right after he lost the title. And while that was a just random side quest for Gunther, we finally have an answer as to what's next for Gunther. And the answer is Jey Uso. He's probably going after Jey Uso again in the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, while it's not confirmed yet, we do know that Gunther has his eyes set once again on Jey Uso and the World Heavyweight Championship. And we know this from the most recent episode of Monday Night Raw, where Jey Uso was cutting a promo and he was interrupted by Gunther. And while it may not be the worst idea, a lot of people are just really tired of seeing Jey Uso and Gunther fighting over the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, I have two possible scenarios that I could see happening with Gunther after his next match with Jey Uso and possibly Logan Paul or whoever else decides to join the party. And before we get too far ahead in the video, I want to say that if you are a WWE fan, consider subscribing to this YouTube channel because that's all we post is WWE related content. So, if you're a WWE fan, consider subscribing. It's free, you can always change your mind later. So while fans may groan and moan about the idea of yet another match between Gunther and Jey Uso, I'm actually kind of worried because this shows me that they really have nothing planned for Gunther. And I mentioned the possibility of Goldberg taking on Gunther. And if that was to happen, the perfect opportunity to launch that feud would have been at Backlash. And it obviously was not, and we're still waiting on whether it is going to be Goldberg versus Gunther at some point. And this is a very dangerous game that WWE is playing if there is going to be another feud, another match with Jey and Gunther. Because if Jey beats Gunther, then that necessarily doesn't make Gunther look very good, does it? But on the other end, if Gunther wins, then Jey Uso goes right back to where he was before he became the World Heavyweight Champion. And you pretty much all but kill all the momentum that Jey had going for him. Now, there is a way for Goldberg possibly to interfere in Jey and Gunther's next match, but at the same time, that match isn't even going to be on a PLE, it's going to be on an episode of Monday Night Raw. So, I'm really confused with what they're doing with Gunther, and I really do think that things changed when Ilya Dragunov got injured. Because I truly believe that by now, if Ilya Dragunov did not get hurt, we would have had Gunther versus Ilya once again. And if you don't know about Gunther and Ilya Dragunov matches, go look them up because they are incredibly, incredibly good. And with the rumors surrounding Ilya Dragunov about him not being back until September, that leaves a lot of time for Gunther to find a feud. So, as for what's next with Gunther, we obviously know he's most likely going to have a match with Jey Uso, and from that point on, we don't really know what it looks like. We just have a lot of rumors and a lot of speculation and a lot of fantasy booking that we can go through. Obviously, you have the rumor about Goldberg that has been there since we saw Goldberg and Gunther have a segment together. And then you have Ilya Dragunov, who, again, is currently injured, but people want to see Ilya versus Gunther again. So I could totally see that happening when Ilya returns. It may not be right away, because I don't think they would want to risk Ilya getting hurt again against Gunther. But then again, we were worried about Randy Orton maybe laying off on the RKOs. But if we learned anything from Backlash, it's that Randy Orton's back feels perfectly fine when he's delivering RKOs. So this is where I want to hear from you guys. What do you think is going to happen with Gunther? What do you think is next for him once we get past Jey Uso again? Possibly feuding with Ilya Dragunov when he comes back. Or can you see Goldberg possibly entering the fold? I'm very, very curious about this one, and I'm very curious to see how they're going to attack the Jay versus Gunther match for the championship on Monday Night Raw. Because again, it's a double-edged sword. If you have Jay win, then Gunther doesn't look like the Gunther we know. On the other side, if Gunther wins, then you essentially kill all the momentum that Jey Uso has. So we'll see how that match goes. To me, it screams shenanigans right off the hop. So as always, let me know that stuff down below in the comments. While you're down there, swing by the description and click the Linktree link. It is the only link in the description for a reason. That is because it takes you to all of the social medias for this channel, and I do suggest going and checking out our X page. Besides YouTube, I am most active over on X. We do updates for Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, and the PLEs. And above all else, I want the X page to be a place for wrestling fans to go and talk about wrestling, especially if you're like me and you don't have a lot of people to talk to about wrestling. So if you are like me and you're looking for a group of wrestling fans to talk about wrestling with, consider swinging by an upcoming episode of Monday Night Raw. Join in on the conversation, and maybe it's for you at the end of the day. With all that said and done, that is going to do it for this video here. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button. If you really enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button. Both are free and both help out the channel a lot. And if you have made it to this point of the video, I want to say thank you very much for taking the time out of your busy day to watch these videos here. And as always, stay tuned for more wrestling content coming in the future. We'll see you next time.